Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Be the Change, Change the World, where it's not just a nice idea, but it's an initiative and a lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel, whichever the case may be. I'm so glad that you're here. And if there is those of you that are out there having a hard time and struggling, I really hope that it's the best of a bad situation for y'all. So, welcome to a bonus reading for Aquarius. It was requested, and I felt very led to do a reading for a Capricorn and Aquarius. So I already did Capricorn, and this will be for Aquarius. So there must be some further advice needed for both signs for me to feel led to honor the request. And also, I have time because I finished all of the monthly readings early. So there's that too. Please make yourselves familiarized with my legal disclaimer in the description box below. I am available for personal readings and birth chart analyses if that is what you're interested in. And if you are, all of those details will be in the description box as well as the prices. And if anyone's interested, please shoot me an email and we can fix it up for you. So, just also want to remind everyone that time is fluid. It's not linear, which means that, this could be past, present, or future energy for each individual watching, or a mixture of all three. And it's different for everyone. You could have Aquarius anywhere in your chart for this to resonate, and alternatively, you could be dealing with someone who has Aquarius in their chart somewhere, and it will still resonate as a cross-watcher energy. So I'm still doing the free reading giveaway for mid-June. If anyone is interested in having a free reading done by me, please drop a comment in the description in the video thread. Excuse me. And let me know. But please make sure it is not in the Premiere chat. Okay? Because if it's in the Premiere chat, I'm never going to see it. So remove the Premiere chat and just put the comment in the video thread. So with all that being said, we're just going to go ahead and get started here. I'm being distracted. And it's nothing important. So, all right. What are the most important messages for Aquarius and their cross watchers? Please and thank you. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit. Most important messages for Aquarius and their cross watchers. Listen to your intuition. Peaceful resolution and trust. Someone is having hard time trusting their intuition. Their intuition is leading them to walk away from a situation, whether that is whatever that is. We'll find out what that is whenever the cards come up. But there will be a peaceful resolution, but someone is having a hard time taking that leap of faith and following their intuition. They're having a hard time trusting that they should be taking this action and doing whatever it is that they're being intuitively led and guided to do in order for the peaceful resolution to occur. We got the Three of Swords in the reverse. So this is about past pain and past heartbreak here. This is like healing from it here. Or this is talking about how to heal from it. That someone's being intuitively guided to do something that will help them heal and from heartbreak, and they're having a hard time trusting. At the bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess in the reverse. This is someone who has very strong intuition, but they're not following it. They're having a hard time trusting it. The High Priestess in reverse. This is very stagnant energy here. At the top of the deck is the Ten of Swords. So they're being led to end a situation. But they're having a hard time trusting their intuition to do that. And the Ten of Swords could be about betrayal. And it could be about them being betrayed in some kind of a situation. But even if it's not a betrayal, there is an ending that needs to happen. And someone who has Pisces in their chart, we'll call it Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or Mars. Somebody with Pisces in one of those personal planets in their chart. It could even be Mercury as well. But there is a need for someone who has Pisces somewhere in their chart to create an ending. And they're having a hard time trusting their intuition in order to do so. What else does Aquarius and the Cross Watchers need to know here, please and thank you? So we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. We have the Three of Cups in the upright. And we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. At the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant in the reverse. And the top of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. This is about a marriage or commitment that involves children here. This is also someone who is unwilling to look at the past here because there's a resistance here to looking at a past energy here. This is definitely about children with the Six of Cups here. And there is a denial here about a marriage, a home and family situation, a commitment that needs to end here. We got the Three of Cups here. That's the energy of like celebrating and happiness and, just, being with your friends or fun or whatever. But I feel like in this case, the Three of Cups is a distraction, right? This could potentially be someone indulging in some kind of an addiction, whether it be drinking alcohol or doing drugs or just something that someone does with someone else socially here with this Three of Cups. Okay? But I'm feeling like that is a distracting energy. Someone is using fun and partying to distract themselves from taking action to end this commitment, this home and family situation, and go against a specific belief system that someone holds. It's going to take elements of trust and courage to be able to let the burden go here. We got the Ten of Wands in the reverse. We got two tens here. The Ten of Swords in the upright and the Ten of Wands in the reverse. So, like, someone is sitting in this Ten of Swords energy pretending to be fine. However, there is a need for this relationship to be ended or changed. And the Wheel of Fortune comes in the upright whenever someone finally does release this home and family situation, this belief system that is keeping them stuck and trapped. There will be a peaceful resolution to this this committed relationship, this marriage, this whatever this is. But it only comes after it's released, and then the good fortune comes afterwards. So whatever negativity keeps happening, it will continue to happen as long as someone continues to be in the energy of doubt and fear of making those changes that would result in this ending that needs to occur. Oh, we got 10, 10, 10. So 10s are endings here. There is an ending that has to occur in order for the healing to happen, in order for the peaceful resolution to happen. But there is resistance here. So we've got Pisces, we've got Taurus, and we've got Sagittarius in this reading so far. So what is it that needs to be ended or changed specifically? Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. What is it? Thank you. So the King of Swords. We've got the Two of Wands in the reverse. And we've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. So the Page of Cups in reverse is all about manipulation. This could be about children, as we've already discussed with the Six of Cups. This is about emotional immaturity, emotional manipulation, apologies without change. That is manipulation. And the Two of Wands in the reverse, this is going down the wrong path. This is resisting the path that is laid out for someone to take here. And we got the King of Swords in the upright, and this is all about telling the truth, creating boundaries. This is, being in the energy of making decisions according to one's moral and ethical belief systems here. But someone's not speaking up. There needs to be honesty here. And there's no honest communication here that is occurring. And there is... The King of Swords just needs to take the initiative to create this ending that needs to be created. This ending must occur in order for the peaceful resolution, in order for the Wheel of Fortune to be in the upright. At the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords in the upright, and we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. So this is someone who feels that they are stuck inside of a home and family situation that it's not going well, right? This is a very unhappy and unstable family situation, this marriage, and they're feeling trapped within it. However, this is self-deception. This is self-deception that is rooted in fear. And someone is feeling this intense fear, and they're convincing themselves to stay within this marriage, this unstable home and family situation. And it's causing them to sit in this energy of, betrayal and hurt. And it's it's really just festering that fear and that doubt, really. And in order to create this ending, the truth must be spoken of very clearly, very succinctly. And then that conversation must be backed up by, taking those practical steps to create this ending here. Whether that is leaving yourself, or it's usually going to be leaving. I mean, it's really difficult to make someone else leave when they're not willing to leave. But someone is definitely feeling like they're very, very fearful about making this decision because they don't want to leave children behind. They don't want to lose contact with their children. They don't want the other person to keep their children from them. They would rather just stay in this toxic cycle and experience all of this heartbreak and this pain and loss and burden. But the Wheel of Fortune comes. This is like a fated and destined event. This is positive things start occurring when this is left behind. The peaceful resolution happens when this is left behind. And it doesn't start until then. So someone will continue to have a series of unfortunate events until they finally get the courage to speak up and create this ending and walk away from this unfulfilling home and family situation. There's a divorce that needs to occur here, and someone is resisting that out of fear, and could very well be projection and manipulation from the other person, as well as their own internal fear and doubt. So if that is the case, then their own internal fear and doubt will be magnified, and thus keep them frozen and not being able to take the actions that are needed to take here. But happiness and freedom comes whenever this burden is released, as well as fortunate events happening, like, gifts from the universe. Things will just fall into place whenever this is let go of. But someone's just like, they're really, really scared about doing this. I don't really see any pentacles here, but this is definitely about fear of being separated from their children by leaving this this committed relationship or this marriage behind. But really, this is just a toxic family environment that is not good for anyone, including the children. But both of the children cards are in the reverse. They can't be happy in this situation. Nobody can be possibly happy in a situation with the Ten of Swords here. The Ten of Swords, it just demands that whatever the situation is, it needs to end. But this feeling of being trapped, this is an illusion. This is an illusion based on fear. This is both an internal fear and perhaps a projected fear from the other person, like the feminine energy that hasn't yet come out in court cards here. But this is like self-deception. This feeling of being trapped. This is self-deception. Because you're not trapped. You can walk away at any time. You can create this ending at any time. yes, things will change, but, and yes, you may need to go to court to, fight for, the custody that you deserve of these children, but that should not stop you from walking away from this marriage or this commitment that isn't good for anybody. It's destined to end. It wasn't meant to be forever. It was meant to be a lesson. And in order for this lesson to be learned, someone just really needs to, stop deceiving themselves and trust that the universe has their back and free themselves. Because once that happens and they release the burden that they're under, then this wheel of fortune can be in the upright for you, and peaceful resolution can occur. But someone's having a hard time trusting because of the fear that's involved here. There could be feelings of shame and guilt attached to this as well. And those doubt, fear, shame, and guilt are all feelings that are unproductive, that will keep you stuck and trapped in an illusion and in pain and suffering, and keep this going. And it's not just you that's suffering, it's everybody that suffers. Because staying in an unhappy marriage that is very painful, it's teaching the children the same toxic patterns for their personal relationships. So their personal relationships are stunted, and they're not as meaningful and fulfilling as they could be, because they're learning belief systems that are not healthy for them, and they will adhere to those belief systems, and they will stay committed in toxic marriages and toxic belief systems that just keep them stuck and trapped in karmic cycles. So this is definitely something that is teaching the children the same thing, and keeping those karmic cycles open, and for the children to repeat. But once the masculine energy takes the initiative to stop stuffing the truth and to start speaking up, and creating this ending so that they can start with their healing journey, then they're teaching their children to not speak out whenever their partners are not treating them right. And they're teaching their children to just be a doormat and stay stuck in unhappy home and family situations that are painful, that are toxic, that are very much continuing karmic cycles that are heavy and burdensome, continuing patterns of betrayal, and staying in those betrayed relationships. The trust is broken in this marriage. Okay? The trust is absolutely broken, with the High Priestess in the reverse, the Hierophant in the reverse, and the Ten of Swords. There's no trust. And if you don't have trust, you don't have anything. And then, with that being said, there is a lack of trust in ending this, because of the fear, the guilt, and the shame, and the doubt that's associated with leaving this behind. Staying stuck in this is not the answer. Keeping yourself a prisoner in this committed relationship, this marriage, is not the answer. Keeping yourself a prisoner to your belief system of staying in this committed relationship or marriage is not the answer. because the result is always going to end up the same. You're always going to end up being unhappy, miserable, heartbroken, drained, miserable. And you're teaching your children that as well. So there is a real need to really just think about how this is really going to affect your children in the long run. Because if you show your children that, you should. Okay, so there's 3 types of lies. The lies of omission, which is leaving stuff out. Lies of commission, which is purposeful lies that are just absolutely not true. And then there's the lies of exaggeration and I don't know. But anyhow, so exaggerating the truth is like taking the truth and stretching the details, or telling the truth and adding details, or omitting details, or something like that. But this is someone who is very much operating in lies of omission. They are omitting the fact that they're unhappy. They're omitting the fact that they're not happy in this marriage, this committed relationship. And they are omitting the fact that they can't trust the other person. They're just not talking about it. They're not revealing it. There's a need for honesty here. So there's self-suppression going on here whenever you are purposely omitting the truth. Not speaking up is omission. It's deception. It's keeping the truth hidden. And there just has to be an ending. Someone is prolonging the inevitable because they're having a hard time trusting. They're having a hard time trusting that there's going to be a peaceful resolution. They're going to have a hard time trusting that they're going to be able to continue and maintain the relationship with their children, continue to have access to them. There's someone who's having a hard time trusting that they're going to be, financially okay if they leave this behind. And as long as there's those fears and doubts, nothing is ever going to change, and that karmic cycle is always going to repeat. And this is just a lot of misery that can be avoided if someone just speaks very candidly on ending this marriage, this committed relationship that involves children here. So, that's just how it is. And like I said before, there's no trust in this marriage. And when the trust is broken, there is no real relationship here. There is a lack of honesty here on both sides. And this is inevitably modeling these same relationship dynamics to children for them to repeat. Putting them in this feeling of being trapped in unhappy home and family dynamics. So they stay silent about other person mistreating them. They stay dormant and they stay in these relationships while it just slowly kills their souls. And really, is that something that you really want for your children? These sacrifices that you think that you're making for your children is actually going to perpetuate that energy for them for their future relationships. It's teaching them to do the exact same thing that you're doing. And everything that you're feeling, they're going to feel. Because this is what your children think a real relationship is. And they're going to model that. They're going to do what it is that they're taught. They're going to be taught that, like whatever you're hanging on to here, they're going to be taught to do the same thing. So everything that you're experiencing and feeling are the very things that your children will one day be experiencing and feeling and continuing. And is that really something that you want? I mean, this is someone who is selfless. This is someone who is not concerned about themselves, and they're concerned about the welfare of their children. So I tell you this, if you really are concerned about the welfare of your children, it starts by changing this dynamic for yourself to teach them that you should stand up for what is right, for what is moral, for what is just, for what is ethical. And it is right to speak your mind, especially about, someone hurt you. I mean, this has to be talked about. And whoever this other person is, like your spouse, they're continuing to hurt you, and you're continuing to take it, which is showing the kids to just accept that kind of mistreatment, that kind of abuse. And that is what you're teaching your children. And they're going to grow up and they're going to have their own relationships. And they're going to accept the same maltreatment that you're accepting, because that is what you taught them. And can you really live with that? Like, really, can you really live with that? Because you think that you're sparing your children pain. And yes, it will cause pain whenever you separate yourself from this marriage or this commitment that you've made. It will hurt them, yes, but it will teach them how to stand up for themselves in relationships, which is more important than prolonging that pain by continuing to hurt yourself. Because you continuing to selflessly hurt yourself in this commitment, in this marriage, you're setting them up for the same kind of pain in the future. And this is the pain that you're trying to avoid for them. But it's inevitable, because they will attract the same kind of person that you found yourself attracted to and got yourself all mixed up in this marriage with, someone you had children with. They're going to do the same, and they're going to live a very similar path, and they're going to do everything that you're doing, thinking that I'm just doing what's best for the children. No, because it is propagating this karmic ancestral cycle, propagating belief systems that will keep them trapped and stuck in misery and unhappiness, to accept betrayal, to accept heartache, caused purposely and intentfully by another person. And can you really live with that? Really? Because I don't think you can. Don't close your eyes to the truth. Don't close your eyes to this. Don't turn the other way and just be like, well, I just don't know what I'm talking about, by claiming that I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying all of this. Because doing that will open your children up to the same type of toxic relationship patterns, and they will experience the same dynamics and the same pain that you are currently feeling. So don't be in denial about it. Don't resist to see the truth for what it is. Do you want to be the cycle breaker? Do you want to model to your children to do what's right no matter what? Even if they've made a commitment, to another person that is not treating them right? Do you really want to teach them that, to stay with that person no matter how they're mistreating them? Because I really think that if you're really honest with yourself, you don't want that at all. But now it's a time to be real. It's a time to be really honest with yourself. And take the inspired action that your intuition is leading you to do, which is getting your divorce, leaving this person and divorcing them. Because you have been in this karmic cycle with this person long enough to know that this person has not changed. And they will not change as long as you continue to stay. And no one has the right to mistreat, to exploit, or abuse another person. No one has the right to be mentally or emotionally manipulated or deceived. No one has the right to do that to another person. But that's exactly what's going to happen to the children if this isn't rectified now or soon. There are truths that have to be spoken here in order to teach your children well. Like that song from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Teach your children well. Not repeating the same toxic cycles that your parents have taught you. The same toxic cycle your parents were in and your partner's parents were in. You're repeating. You're experiencing the pain that your parents experienced, and your parents didn't know any better how to break that cycle. They thought they were doing what was right by staying, just like you are. How many generations are you going to have this toxic pattern repeat for? Do you want to really do what's best for your children? Yes, this divorce will hurt them initially. But if they know that you were just standing up for yourself because you were being exploited, mistreated, or outright abused by your partner, then they will know that you stood upon your ethics, your morals, and your values. And if your children decide to accept, to really follow and live out their ethics, morals, and values, they in turn will not accept that treatment for themselves. But as long as you continue to accept that treatment for yourself, you're opening yourself up for your children to have the same life that you're having, just like your parents did, by perpetuating that for you. This is most likely going way past beyond your parents. This is an ancestral karmic pattern that has been in place for generations. Are you going to do something different? Or are you going to just continue in the footsteps of your ancestors and just take it? Just like your partner who is exploiting, abusing, or mistreating you is continuing to follow in the footsteps of their ancestors by perpetuating the cycle of abuse, mistreatment, and exploitation. This is opening your children up for abuse, exploitation, and mistreatment. And can you really live with that? Can you really live with your children suffering in silence as you're suffering in silence? If we're being honest, I don't think you can. It's time for the truth. It's time for you to do the right thing for yourself and for your children. Because the act of getting a divorce from someone who is mistreating you, abusing you, exploiting you, that is not selfish. It's necessary. Because like I said, no one has the right to treat another person like that. And you don't have to take it anymore. But if you choose, you can continue to take it unfairly. But just remember that it's going to affect your children in the future. And they're going to experience similar relationships. Your children will either turn into the abuser or the victim. It's just facts. Your children will continue the behavioral patterns of your partner, of abuse, mistreatment, and exploitation. Or they'll continue the pattern of accepting and just taking it and staying trapped in it. We have explore your options and keep your eyes on your targeted intention. What do you intend to do about this? And stay focused. Because I guarantee you that your partner and possibly even your children may even distract you from your targeted intention. Your intention is what your intuition is screaming at you about. To end this. To walk away from this. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. Nobody wants to live like this. And this is not a life of confidence or courage. This is a life of fear and doubt. 4 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Explore your options. Dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love, helping me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose. You're going to have to find an alternative solution. You're going to have to find somewhere else to go while you focus on your healing, focus on getting yourself this divorce, focusing on, continuing to be a part of your children's life. The best direction for your health, happiness, and life's purpose is by separating yourself from this marriage or this commitment that you made. There's always a solution. There's always an alternative option. You're just not seeing it. You have to create it. And whenever it's created, the peaceful resolution will happen. The burden will be lifted. And this is a fated and destined event that is meant for you to achieve this. This is your whole reason for being here, is to free yourself from this burdensome marriage that's leaving you feel used, abused, and exploited. This was not meant to be forever. This was a lesson. The lesson goes on and on until you learn it. And you only learn the lesson by taking the steps that you're guided to take, to tell the truth and walk away. Get the divorce. Keep your distance. Look within. Stop ignoring your inner guidance. Your intuition is leading you in the right direction. If it's making you feel afraid, it's not meant to stop you. I mean, yes, it is designed to stop you, but it's meant for you to overcome. Your life's purpose is to free yourself from this. This is a burden you're meant to release. When that happens, the universe will take care of you. The universe will provide for you. A peaceful resolution will occur. Just trust it. You're having a hard time trusting. You're having a hard time trusting others because of what you're experiencing. You're having a hard time trusting yourself because you've been programmed to not trust yourself by your parents. You have been programmed to doubt yourself. You have been programmed to trust them who betrayed your trust long ago, and which also programs you to trust your spouse, that you're blindly allowing them to abuse and exploit you. You can't trust your spouse. You can't trust anybody. Well, the fact remains that you can't trust your spouse. But you're going to have to learn to trust other people. Other people can help you through this. It's just a matter of asking for it. Explore your options. There are helpful people out there that can help you. Starts with moving out, getting a restraining order if this other person is violent, if they're the stalker type, then a restraining order is necessary. You can also get emergency custody of your children, especially if you can prove that your partner is unfit and unstable. Even if you're the dad, it's still possible. But you never know until you're actually doing something about it. Because staying within this and not doing anything about it, perpetuating your own misery, is prolonging the inevitable. Your life's purpose is to break the cycle. To break the cycle of accepting abuse and exploitation. It's up to you to break that cycle. Nothing's going to happen by you not saying anything and not doing anything. And then your children's going to follow in the same pattern that you're in. And how does that really make you feel? Like, really be honest with yourself. How does that make you feel? To imagine your children in the same exact situation that you're in. Imagine your children as the victim and the perpetrator. And how do you feel about both of those options? Because that is the options. That is the footsteps your children will follow in. One or the other. And how does that really make you feel? Truly. And if you feel very strongly about that not happening, you're going to have to stand up for yourself, create this ending, and release the burden. Period. Yes, that is what is necessary. Pain now or pain later? Pain now is better than pain later. Because pain later it's worse. It really is. So that is what I have for you. Thank y'all for supporting my channel in all the ways that you do. If this video resonates with you, please leave a thumbs up and please leave a comment. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. There's more to come. Always more to come. It's time to be the change that you want to see in the world. It's time to be the change that you want to see in your children. But if your children don't have a role model for that change, then there is no change. So, thanks again, and I'll talk to y'all soon.